Anderson joins us. Hello. So it's
Good
so
morning.
nice to see you.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
That's cool. Thanks for getting Gruen back on the air. It's on the ABC at 8:30 tonight. And what I love about what you're talking about, we just discussed it earlier, is one of the topics you're covering. I feel like you can't not cover COVID right now.
Right. Well, we're in the middle of COVID. Everybody's experiencing it. So last week we talked directly about it. But of course, every conversation we will have on the show for the entire series is going to be COVID affected. So we thought, let's go straight to the most retail of all things, soap. Because soap is back, right? The reason that soap operas are called soap operas is that they originally were devised to sell soap. You know, there would be advertisements for soap companies and they'd do these dramas.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
This is why you're a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. So soap
that.
used to be the number one advertising thing because everyone needed soap. And then for the last 20 years, soap has been completely unfashionable. In fact, Dove don't even call themselves a soap. They call themselves a beauty bar, right? But suddenly, in a moment like now where everybody has to wash their hands more often than they ever would before, sales of hand sanitizer have gone up 1,400%.
I wish I
the start
invested.
of the year.
Yeah, wish we got in.
And soap companies are suddenly back in the advertising game because it's all about soap. Soap's having its big moment again.
Isn't that wild? And I don't know why I remember a piece of one of your stand-up bits where you just slagged off hand sanitizer back in the day and you were like, this is a waste of money, this is BS, why are we hand sanitizing? And you're so angry because that's one of your things. And now look, like 2020, you're doing a show about it.
Being angry is one of your things, Will.
Oh, look, I've never guaranteed. It is billed as a comedy show, not a futurism show.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
you know, you're not meant to be coming and sitting in the audience and taking notes for which stocks to invest in. It's like sometimes I'm just angry about things because I'm a human being and I'm angry about things.
Yeah.
But it turns out when it came to hand sanitizer, that routine was a pretty good routine for a decade until COVID.
Yes.
No one saw COVID coming, so you can't blame me for that.
Unfortunately.
Some places you go now, hand sanitizer is like 5-6 times the price. It's crazy how much has gone up in money.
I honestly, like, my knuckles look like I've been in a fight club. like the amount of times I have to sanitize my hands, particularly yesterday as we're making the show, and there's so many regulations at the ABC, and every time anyone touches me, like, you know, puts a microphone on me, you get dressed with the wardrobe person, whatever, you know, makeup, you have to sanitize again.
Every
and
time.
I taped a TV show yesterday and I woke up this morning with knuckles like I'd just gone 12 rounds with Brad Pitt in a basement shirtless. Like, my knuckles are bleeding from cleaning them.
Wow.
And how's doing the show at the moment with no studio audience? So it's just you're doing your gags and the jokes about the ads and no one's there to laugh at them except the other crew.
You know, you hear about the theory of relativity, that time exists in different planes and it can be measured in different ways. Never has that been more of an understanding for me. Like, the 3-minute monologue felt like 35 minutes without an audience.
Brutal.
There's a moment about 30 seconds in where you can literally see the look in my eye of going, I knew this was going to be hard, but I did not think it was going to be quite this hard.
Do you expect
How many
more?
hours have I got left on this?
Do you expect more from the crew, or are you looking around going, come on, give me something, guys?
No, so we've said to our crew, like, don't laugh, mostly because they also see rehearsal, right?
Oh,
Of
okay.
course,
So,
they've
like,
seen it all.
You know,
You're only funny
so
the
they
first
would-
time.
They would have to be let's tape the rehearsal, the first rehearsal, and we'll dub in those laughs. I did suggest that the ABC could get people to record their own laughs at home for, like, you know, they watch tonight's program, record their laughs, and then we could put those laughs in next week's program. You know, so then that way they are real laughs of the audience.
But for
it's
different
not canned
jokes.
laughter. But it's
I
just for
like
different
that.
jokes.
It's like
that's the only flaw so far.
Well, that's what footy did, right? With no crowds there. They put the fake footy crowds in there. And, I mean, they didn't always get it right. Sometimes the cheer was far too big for what was happening.
Do you
But
think
you could
that
get that
people
for some of yours?
would bother?
Absolutely not. We haven't bothered. How can we ask them to bother when we ourselves
love
haven't
the
bothered?
show,
Yeah.
but no one's going to that much effort. Let's
No,
be real.
it's incredible. Here's what I'll say. Our panelists are better than they've ever been. I only have 2 episodes to go on because obviously we just recorded our second episode.
Yeah.
But I think we've undervalued over the years how hard it is for them. They're advertising people, and we ask them on a show to dissect their industry and give away their secrets, and we make them do it in front of 250 people as a live show on television.
Yeah.
And so we've taken the live show away, and for me, that's like my superpower. I feel like, I've got a little kryptonite around me. But for them, they have come alive because they don't have to do it. They are just talking to each other around a table about these things. We talk about bushfires in the show tonight, which is a pretty serious topic, but just the conversation they could have about it and how deep they went into it, they never would have been able to do in front of a live audience because it would have lost the crowd.
Yeah.
So I think that while I've lost something for not having the audience there, the panelists are better than ever.
Well,
yes, your loss is everyone else's gain.
Yes. So I'm willing to make that noble sacrifice
on
behalf of entertainment. You're welcome, Australia, or should I say you're welcome.
Don't even come back when the crowds are allowed back. That's how much sacrifice Wil is willing to make. I did read this week that you said you sort of left radio at the wrong time. It's great to have you back on the air and hearing you on the air. Do you feel that you left radio end of last year at the wrong time?
I mean, I left at the end of last year to live tour for this entire year. And then, of course, stand-up comedy is not something that's pretty good because here's the thing. You're asking 1,000 people to get in a barely air-conditioned room and then I'm going to try to make them expel fluids from their mouth consistently for 80 minutes. Yeah. The funnier you are, the deadlier you are. It is a bad year for stand-up comedy.
And you're a deadly man, Wil. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Gawndy Maz, weekday mornings from 6.